All right, we move on to this particular section. Remember, trigonometry has got big marks, therefore we should make sure that we nail these marks. We get them. It's between 5 to 6 marks in our examination, so this is a piece of cake. It is easy, especially if simplified. So on 7th weight, we simplify it. So now left-hand side, foot is on the right-hand side. So if we prove it to the left side, look, 3 sine squared x. Do I understand what is 3 sine squared x? Yes, it's like, maskuluma 2 books. When I say 2 books, kuluma ngote imbili. 2 cars, imoto imbili, 2x or x ababili, 2x squared or x squared ababili, 5p squared or p squared above 5, 3 sine squared x or sine squared x abatatu. That's what we want to get at the end of the day. Remember, I brush it off first. I underline here because there's 90. What is this saying to me? This ratio will change. So 90, go by 90, cos will change into sine. Do we have 90 or 270 there? No, it's 180. It's not going to change the ratio. 360, it's also not going to change the ratio. Remember what we said. Is 90 and 270 going to change the ratio? Is 90 and 270, yes. As I do this 90, 270, yes, it changes the ratio. 360 and 180, does it change the ratio? No, it doesn't change the ratio. Only 90 and 270 will change the ratio. 360 and 180 does not change the ratio. So this ratio will change. Let's do this thing. If we take the left-hand side, the complicated side, 90 minus, I start where there are brackets first. 90 minus, it is the first quadrant, where all ratios are positive in this quadrant. So 90 minus, it is the first quadrant. So this, how is cos on the first quadrant? It is positive. But because of 90 low, cos will change into sine. Sine what? Sine of this angle, which is 2x. As I write sine 2x, something crops out. This is double angle, 2x, so it will give me that one. So I know exactly what to write immediately after this one. This is times. Let's move on. Remember, whenever I have tan theta is the same as sine theta over cos theta. So this becomes my key to unlock any problem that I have. 180 plus, which quadrant is that? 180 plus, it is the third quadrant. How is tan on the third quadrant? Remember, tan is always positive on the third quadrant. So what is the answer that I'm going to get here? I'm going to have the solution got tan x. But what is tan x? It is sine x over cosine x. So instead of writing tan x here, I can write it as sine x over cos x. Or first, we can just, okay, let's leave it as sine x over cos x, but we know that is eventually tan x from the above one. If we follow the sign, let's look at the other one. Plus 360 minus. We move on to this angle, to this quadrant now. 360 minus. Which quadrant is this? 360, you go back, it is the fourth quadrant. How is cos, what ratio are we doing here? We are using sine. How is sine on the fourth quadrant? Sine on the fourth quadrant is negative. But when you square something that is negative, you get something that is positive. So this will be positive sine squared x, because we are squaring it. It is equals to 3 sine squared x, or sine squared x about 3, but touch about sine squared x. Then I use my eyes. I brush this thing off before I move on, check any mistakes if I might have made. 90, to change the ratio into this one. Tan x, 180 plus, it's tan x, sine x over cos x. I added this one, which is sine squared x. Remember, I don't lose sight of what I want to get. I want to get all sine squared x abatatu. When I open my eyes, do I have what I want? Not yet, but this one is leading me to it. So it means that whatever I do, I'm not going to have to step this because it's leading me towards my solution. How many sine squared x that I have at the moment? Only 1. How many am I short of? 2. So this should give me 2 of them. Let's move on. I don't worry about this. I put this so much into my mind. Remember, this is given in the formula sheet. So what is sine 2x? This is a double angle, a sine. This will be 2 sine x times cosine of x. This is a double angle. Remember, sine 2a is the same as 2 sine a cos a. So we had, instead of a there, we've got x. Right, asiyen wakon. This is times what? Sine x over cos x. This is sine x over cos x plus what I don't want to disturb. because it's leading me towards my solution, plus sine squared x. Right. Now, how do I deal with this? Let me deal with this one in this way. This is cos x, this is cos x. Because we are multiplying, these two can go. But if this was plus sine, I was not going to be able to do that. Right? What do we have now? What is sine x times sine x? It's sine squared x times 2. It is 2 sine squared x plus this one, which is sine squared x. What do we have now? We've got 2 sine squared x. What does that mean? Oh, sine squared x ababili plus 1 sine squared x oyedwa. Uma uno sine squared x ababili, ubahlanganise noyedwa kuphuma bangaki? Kuphuma abathathu. Obani? O sine squared x. So this is what we have at the end. We've got 3 sine squared x, which is exactly what we want to get. Therefore, we say the left-hand side is exactly the same as the right-hand side. Thank you.